Today I want to talk about something timeless, something that affects every single one of us. The duty to defend the truth. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, made it pretty clear. Supporting the truth is both a moral and a divine obligation. It's not optional. It's not conditional. It's, essential. Silence in the face of falsehood. That's not just being neutral, it's enabling injustice. And honestly, we've seen how dangerous that can be. This idea reminds me of historical moments, like the civil rights movements. Think about all those times people chose to look the other way, while others fought tirelessly for equality and justice. The silence of some made it far easier for oppression to, dig its heels in. But when enough people finally stood up, not just watching, but actively supporting the truth, change really started to happen. It's one of those powerful examples of speaking up, making a difference. And here's something a bit more personal. It kind of takes me back to a lesson I learned as a kid. There was this bully in my school. And most of us just kept quiet. I mean, no one wanted trouble, right? But the thing is, our silence gave him power. It was my dad who said to me, "When you don't speak against wrong, you're letting it grow." And that stuck with me. Anytime we fail to confront the wrong, we're giving it room to expand, to fester, to dominate. Imam Ali's wisdom here really hits home. Supporting the truth isn't easy, but ignoring it, that's a form of betrayal. Betrayal to ourselves, to justice, and to everyone who relies on truth for a better world. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, warned us plainly. Failing to defend the truth doesn't just hurt the truth itself, it creates space for injustice to flourish. And history's full of examples where this warning played out. Let's think back to times when people stayed silent against powerful, corrupt regimes. Those regimes didn't crumble on their own. In fact, their power grew because nobody was willing to act, to step in and say, "This is wrong." Take, for instance, the collapse of civilizations like the Roman Empire. Sure, it wasn't just one thing, but societal indifference to corruption, the neglect of accountability, that was a major factor. Leaders got away with so much because, honestly, people let them. And that indifference, it didn't stay contained. It spread, and over time it weakened the moral and social fabric they depended on to thrive. But it's not all doom and gloom. The flip side is equally telling. Whistleblowers, for example, are a perfect case of what happens when someone speaks up. Think about Edward Snowden or Erin Brockovich. These individuals didn't just sit by while wrong was being done. No, they put personal risk on the line to draw attention to injustice. And that couldn't be more different from the bystanders who, shrug, look away, and leave the hard work to someone else. The contrast here is powerful. One person, one ally of truth, can make waves that change the course of society. While silence, collective silence, essentially paves the way for tyranny and moral decay. And when we neglect our responsibility to hold wrongdoing accountable, it doesn't just affect today, it sets a precedent that echoes into the future. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, taught us about the importance of standing against falsehood and supporting the truth. And today, I think we've got to kind of reframe that wisdom for the battles we're facing now. Misinformation, inequality, and, the systems that perpetuate them. These challenges demand the same kind of courage that's been shown by truth-tellers throughout history. Take Mahatma Gandhi's movement against colonialism. His approach, non-violent resistance, sheer determination, and unwavering commitment to truth. It united millions and shifted global thinking. And more recently, look at movements like climate activism. Leaders like Greta Thunberg are, they're standing up against large-scale denial and inaction. They're confronting forces much bigger than themselves, challenging governments and corporations to tell the truth about our planet's future. It's the same struggle in a different form, standing against falsehood. And here's where things get interesting. Technology today, especially tools like artificial intelligence, offers us new ways to amplify voices that might otherwise be overlooked. There's this podcaster, for instance, who uses AI to dive deep into untold stories from marginalised communities. By analysing patterns in public data or bringing ancient texts into conversation with modern insights, they're shining a light on truths most of us never hear about. It's a reminder that used wisely, tech isn't just neutral, it's a force for justice. But here's the thing. Yes, these tools are powerful, but they're only tools. It comes down to us, to how we choose to use them. Resisting falsehood requires more than innovation. It requires intentionality. It means choosing to question what we see, to educate ourselves, to take action, even when it's inconvenient. Because when we don't, when we stay silent or passive, we're essentially letting lies and injustice win. So, as we wrap up today's episode, let's carry Imam Ali's timeless wisdom with us. Supporting truth isn't a task we can outsource. It's a responsibility, one we each need to take seriously. And honestly, it's a responsibility that shapes the world we leave behind. On that note, thank you for spending this time with me. Let's keep the conversation going and, as always, fight for what's right. Until next time, take care.